G'day everyone, and welcome to another Yabbying videos. Videos. It doesn't make sense. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Last week I went yabbying and I caught quite a few yabbies, but the water was getting cold and the yabbies were slow. I thought things are slowing down. Then I came across this dam here behind me in my travels and I wanted to try again, so I've just pulled the nets out of here after having a little bit of a reconnaissance trip and just seeing whether there's any yabbies in here or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get both of those two videos, the one I filmed last week and the one I filmed just here, and I'm going to put them both in the one video, and I'm going to call it something like Autumn Yabby Reconnaissance Missions or something. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these two videos. I can afford a new shirt, but I don't want to. I reckon this has got a couple more seasons left in it yet. Good morning everyone, what a beautiful autumn morning it is. And I'm going to put a couple of yabby nets in this dam. I don't know how I'm going to go here today. I don't think it's going to be any good, but it's been on my mind for a long time to try this dam, and we're in the middle of March, so I've got to try it now before it gets any cooler. I've got my two homemade collapsible bait traps. This one is homemade bait traps, they're certainly not collapsible. This one is baited with a full redfin. This one is baited with some still frozen venison back straps. Right, let's put the nets in. Righto, net number one. Just throw that out there. With a bit of luck I'll get it to land side on like that. Yeah, that gets good. It's got quite a steep bank, and I'm worried that if it lands sideways it will just roll.
If I can get through the cobwebs, I might put this out here. Look, this log.
There we go, perfect. Now both nets are in. Just looking around, I can see a couple of old holes in the bank over there. Whether they're yabby holes or not, I don't know. I can't see any fresh mud. But anyway, it's 10 past 10. I'm going to go away for a while and doing a bit of wildlife photography today. I'm going to come back in a little while and check them. Well, I've made my way back to the dam for the first check. They've been in about an hour and 10 minutes. Yes, there are yabbies in here, look. I didn't bring my bucket. There's heaps of black beetles and one big black yabby. There are yabbies in here. Your beauty. This could have gone either way. I would have thought there won't be any in here, but there could be, and that's about right. Well, I'm going to leave him in there. I'm off to a good start. Just got to be careful that doesn't roll down too far in there. After I put these nets in before, I went for a bit of a drive and I photographed a few reptiles, a few lizards. Not sure what sort they are. They're skinks. I'm not sure whether they're copper-tailed skinks or eastern striped skinks. When I get home I'll jump on Google and have a look. That has really given me a lot of hope, even just catching just that one yabby. There's none in this net. Lots of beetles. Right, I'll put them back in. Right, I've come back for another check. I've just been out and about taking photos and absolutely having a wonderful time. Anyway, it's been 2 hours since the last check, and there was one yabby in this net when I last checked it. What's in there now? We've got a few in there now. There's 3. Right, I'll put them in the bucket and take them. There's no water in the bucket yet, but there will be in a minute. Well, there are yabbies in this spot. That is really cool. You can go in there with that bloody plastic. Bloody as in, actually, this is what, that's the plastic that this redfin was wrapped up in, and so was the red meat in the other net, the venison backstraps. Righto. Awesome. Put a bit of water in the bucket with my yabs. Right, net number 2 now. This had no yabbies in it last time. Surely there can't just be yabbies at one end of the dam. I don't know whether it's the meat or this end of the dam. I think I might move this net down there as well. Right, I've moved down the bottom end of the dam, just round from the other net. I won't have it that this venison isn't a good bait. I had some great success with it in a recent yabbying video, so I know it works. Right, well, so far I've got 3 yabbies on the board, and they've all come from one net just down here. I done no good up there. So I've got 2 nets still on the dam, one there, one there. I'm going to give them all afternoon and all night to try and increase my total of 3, and I'll come back in the morning and check them. Morning has broken. Well, I caught 3 and I took them home and put them in a bucket. If I only catch 2 or 3, well, I'll put them back and I'll leave those other 3 at home to add on to a future total. If I've got a dozen or so of the size that I caught, well, then I'll be happy. Oh, I've got a couple in here. It's not many though. And they're not very big either. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 in there. That's not too bad. But they're not as big as I'd like them to be. They're a bit medium-ish. Let's have a look. They're also a bit slow. Notice they're not flicking around a lot. Probably that's to do with the water being a bit cool. It's a nice one. Not a monster. Here's he'll do size. 3, 4. That one's dead. He's not in very good shape. Come on, mate, let go. Let go, will y'all. He's I think he's got a little bit of life left in him, but he's not looking good. There must have been bluing in here. Alright. This one's got lots of life in him. I've got to be careful on my fingers. Alright, well, there were 7 in the redfin net, plus the 3 at home is 10, but 2 were dead. So I've got 8. I'll put the redfin back in there to fatten them up. The tally sits on 8. Net number 2. Now, I've got 5 in the bucket and 3 at home. They're okay-ish, but not great. I'm going to need at least 2 or 3 in this net before I'll keep a feed, I think. Alright, what's net number 2 delivered? Oh, there's heaps in here, look! There's heaps! I might just keep the big ones and throw the smaller ones back. There's probably 15 or more yabbies in here. There's not much movement, they're barely moving. It must be because it is the middle of March. The water has cooled down substantially over the last couple of weeks. And I reckon that might be why they're not moving a lot. Once they warm up a bit, they'll probably come to life. See, he's alive, they're just not moving much. That one can go back. That one can go back. It's bizarre when the water's cool. You pick up the nets usually and they're flipping around. Actually, a lot of them aren't very healthy. There are a couple of dead ones in there. That one's looking alright. He's well and truly alive, but he's small. This one's alright. I actually don't think they're dead, I think they're just cold. Small, small, small. Yeah, I don't think I'll keep any of these. They're dead. This happened to me once before in a net. No, they're dead. This happened to me once before in a yabby net. They're all alive, but they're just struggling a bit. I put them back in where the water's a little bit warmer. There's a few gangs flying around in the trees here. Gangs are like black cockatoos with red heads. Anyway, I caught probably around about 2 dozen yabbies in total. Of those 2 dozen yabbies, 5 or 6 were dead and the rest were really slow. Now, last night was quite a cool night, and I've had a couple of cool nights. As I stand here now, it's only 14 or 15 degrees. What I suspect is happening, the water's cooled down quite a lot, and yabbies, when the water's cold, they become really, really slow, and I reckon they've crawled into the net, then they've gone really slow, and they've become easy prey for the other yabbies in the net, and the ones with a bit more energy have picked off the ones without much energy, if that makes sense. That's my theory. So I caught about 2 dozen. I've got 3 at home in a bucket for spares because I didn't know how today was going to pan out. I threw back a dozen or so live ones and the rest had sadly passed away. Anyway, there is yabbies in this dam. Next year I'll come back when the weather's warmer and give it another crack. Another day, another dam. G'day folks. This morning I'm on a bit of a yabby reconnaissance mission. I stumbled across this dam the other day, so today I'm going to put some nets in it and see if there's any yabbies in here. Now this looks like a good yabby dam. Looks good. Whether it is good or not is anyone's guess. Anyway, I've got 2 nets here, just the 2 open top lift nets baited with some silver perch offcuts. A head and backbone off a 31 centimetre silver perch that I ate just last week. Anyway, let's put these 2 nets in and see if there's any yabbies in the dam. These ropes are so kinked on these nets. Anyway, net number 1 can go out there. Net number 2 can go out here. I'm going to throw this left-handed to try and untwist some of the twisted line. Now both nets are in. I was going to just make this one check. Put them in, check them in a couple of hours. And I've got Loretta with me who's just over there with her camera. And she's spotted a bird that she likes, a striated pardolet. So we're going to wait for a quarter of an hour or 20 minutes and see if she can get a photo of that pardolet. So I will get to do an impatient check and then I'll have one more check. Right, it's been 20 minutes. The bird that Loretta wanted to photograph never came down out of the tree, so she didn't get the photo. 20-minute impatient check and then we're going to go away and check them on the way home. It's quite a deep dam, this one. Nothing in the 20-minute impatient check in that net. Leave it in a bit closer. Net number 2. Please be something in here. Not looking good. Anyway, we're going to go off on an adventure. I'll leave it a bit closer as well. And I'll check these in a couple of hours on the way home. Righto, it's the moment of truth. It's been a bit under 2 hours. Now remember, this is just a reconnaissance mission. If there's nothing in here, that's fine. Even if there's just 1 or 2, well, that'll tell me that it's worth coming back next summer. And there's none. Nothing! It's going to take a miracle for this to have yabbies in it, I think. Well, there is yabbies in it. Look at them all. There was none in the other net. There was none in the other net, but they're all small. They're all bait-sized yabbies. There's 5. 1, 2. 2 just fell through the mesh. Nothing eating size, but quite a few bait size. If I can get them out. 3, but one just fell through the net. This one just fell through the net. And down that hole. This is the biggest one of the 5. Oh well. It's sort of mid to late March. My last yabbying trip I caught a few and they were really cold, and some had even died in the net through a bit of battle, and I thought, oh, it's getting a bit late, but I thought just wanted to try one more time. So the fact that I've caught 5 here just in a couple of hours this morning, I think this is well worth revisiting next summer. Stay tuned, folks. I'm coming back to this dam next summer. There are yabbies in here. Let's see if it yabbies a bit better when the weather's a bit warmer. Thank you very much for watching my short little yabby recon video.